Hi friends, my name is Syed. In this channel, I will be showing some of the tutorials on SAP and non-SAP. And if it is your first time on this channel, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And so thank you very much. So let's get on to the other
So
side.
we are on this site now, how to get into SAP Fast, a video for fresher. So let's get started. In this video, we need to understand if anybody would like to come into SAP, they need to have domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is any industry that you want to get into. For example, we can take a look at automotive is one of the industries. In any business, any industry we get into, there are three different areas of business area that any company would have. One is accounting. Accounting would be finance related, where company would keep track of their sales, they keep track of their inventory, how much money they are making and how much they're spending, and so on and so forth. So this is like accounting. And logistics, any company would have something, they're sending something out, they're receiving it. Their warehouse could be called logistics, or if they're shipping something out, that is logistics related, when they're doing some transaction and moving goods and receiving goods. And HR people are managing logistics and the overall all the employees in the company, human resource. So that is called HR. So let's take a look at one more industry called textile. Textile is another industry. They would have all of the same areas, for example accounting, logistic, HR as well. So when you think about any of this domain knowledge, you can start from that. And in textile, for example, the process might be a little bit different. If you have domain knowledge of automotive, the process is different, where they do manufacture cars, they manufacture different automotive related things, parts and all. But textile would be different, where they manufacture the clothing design and all this stuff. So take a look at one more example. Construction industry is one of the industry where just the process is different. So if you have a knowledge of any of this domain knowledge, it will be very helpful toward to get into any of these industries. So let's take a look at the construction. There's one more industry, insurance industry is a little bit different, and domain knowledge on this is different than automotive. So in insurance, the goods are not, the logistics part is very minimum, because there is no stock, there is no shipment, and the things are not moving, they don't have warehouse. So in your insurance industry is in the process wise, if you have a domain knowledge and you're trying to get into any of the specific company, they might consider you based on that. If you have a domain knowledge, they might consider you as a in different areas of the company. So let's take a look at the second. So insurance will have services instead of shipping goods. So that is a area that if you are going into insurance, and if you're going to a service industry, that is different from automotive or textile industry or construction industry. So let's take a look at the second point for you. Is you can start thinking about, if you have a domain knowledge, you can get into as an end user. So what end user do is, any of these three department where we looked at it earlier, there are different area of application, and end users work on those applications. So in SAP, you would be working on, for example, if you're in sales and distribution. If you are in finance, you're working in finance department. So that is very limited area. So what do I mean by that is, you work on SAP user as a user, you work on SAP as a user. So you are user, you're not going into as a consultant, but by starting in your career and as a user, you can get into the industry and you can learn from that, and then you can move on from there to as a business analyst or a SAP analyst. So that is one more step for you to get into the industry. And also one more point to bring out. So if you are going as a end user, you are limited to one department. For example, end user of finance would be working in finance, and within finance there are account receivable, account payable. So you would be limited to your area only. So that is a downside. But when you get in, then you can learn from that, and that would be very useful for you too, because you will have hands-on experience. Because end user is more important in many times, because when somebody get into SAP and they don't have end user knowledge, as a consultant, that is difficult to learn end user transaction. So if you are end user already and you know your area well, then you can learn faster. So let's get to the next point. So when you want to become a SAP consultant, there are two types of consultant. One is functional and one is developer. So in functional consultant, let's take a look at it. You could be SAP Material Management Consultant, it's called SAP MM. You could be SAP Sales and Distribution Consultant. So you are also limited in your area within your becoming SAP consultant. So sales and distribution will be in logistics. Material management is also in logistics. SAP finance, FICO consultant in finance and controlling area. So within different business areas, you will be becoming a SAP functional consultant as per the area that you like to go into, and whatever the knowledge you have, domain knowledge you already have, if you have worked in any of the industry. So what consultant do? You work on configuration. What is configuration? So there's when you do back end you configure the system for the end user. You develop a system. So functional consultant go into the project as a implementation consultant, where you design system, you implement system, and where you prepare the system for end user and company. So there are many different areas that you work on the project. So let's take a look at that. SAP functional consultant train end user, and how functional consultant train end user, because SAP functional consultant work on a project where you design system and then you configure system and make it ready for the end user. And you also work on the support project where the system is already implemented, then you start working as a support consultant in a project. Okay, so that is all about functional consultant. So let's take a look at the ABAP Developer. So in SAP there are two type of consultants are out there: a functional consultant mainly, and ABAP Developer. Developer work on basically coding, where the user where the this consultant work on the programming for the application and different areas. For example, if SAP MM require some custom development, then you work on the coding, you design on this coding, you take SAP existing coding and you work on it. So it is depends on that. If you like to code, you like to do programming, that is area for you as a developer. And functional consultant work on application as a where he do configuration and work on the system as a business analyst, kind of area like that. So tip number 4, you can start you start with the buying SAP books and start studying the book, and you need to study the whole book, I would recommend, and study from start to end. And with this step, that what you can do is it is on your own pace, because when you buy a book, then if you like to learn faster, you can complete the book in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So that is one more advantage for you to have a book, because you can learn faster instead of waiting. When you go for a class, you have to wait for the instructor to give you some information, then you take on from that and then you learn. But if you have a book, you can complete 10 pages, 100 pages a day or something like that. So it is up to you, and it is at your advantage to learn faster. So online courses is another 5 tip, you can go for that. So sometimes you will have online one-on-one person, and also you can go on for like one-on-one, and also go with the already recorded courses on free courses on YouTube. You can find them. For example, you can search any of the courses, you most likely you will find them on YouTube. And it is on your advantage. If you want to learn online courses which are already pre-recorded, you can learn faster by, if you want to watch 1 video or 2 video, 3 video. So that is on your advantage to learn faster. So also you can get a paid course which is on Udemy, on different websites, that you can start from that as well. So watch complete course. So when you start learning, you have to start a complete course, because I have seen that instead of just skipping through the you watch one video, two video, I will highly recommend watch the complete course and complete it. So let's get started with the tip number 6, getting in person versus online course. So if you are in person and learning it, maybe sometimes people would like to learn in person and versus online. I would recommend any of these things is helpful for you. You can go for that, but online you have advantage of learning faster. That is the advantage you would have, and it is on your own pace is on your own hand. So you can learn faster with the online course. That is advantage, and you can learn faster with that. So tip number 7, free SAP certification. So I have a video on that. I will be sharing a link in the description below. You can learn from that and learn with mind mapping. So this video is also that I'm recording, it is on mind map. That, as you can see, there's have a mind mapping. That I also have a video on that as well, and so you can learn faster with that, and you can. It is simple to learn and easy to remember. So mind mapping is one of the learning hack you can learn, and then you can improve your skill level in any subject. It's not mind mapping don't have to be for SAP. You can learn for any subject. So let's get to the next video. Okay, so you need to get SAP Access. When you get SAP Access, you can learn faster with that. When I give that one tip for the becoming end user, you have SAP Access over there as well, then you can learn from that. But you can also buy online access from different various websites, and then from SAP as well, and then you can practice SAP by that way. And also you can, if you're going for practice end user and configuration, so that is a very valid point to learn faster the configuration. So I see some people start going into configuration, but you need to learn end user first, because you need to understand what are you doing, what are you configuring, and who are you configuring for. So that will give you higher context and higher understanding in the subject. So start practicing end user / configuration. So that is tip. And also last tip is start with internship. You can also start with internship with any company, and so that is a very good start for you to get in faster. So these all the tips I have for you. So, and I will share the video links in the description below, where you can learn from mind mapping and how to learn faster as well. Thank you very much.